everyone.
Welcome back.
Here's our early review. If you didn't hear the announcement video, we have early screenings out. So this is our early review for, what did we just see? Oh, the Way Back with Ben Affleck. Now, I was not really excited to see this movie because I'm not a big sports guy.
I was kind of dreading it.
Me too, actually, to be honest, because
really?
I'm not really into basketball.
Yeah. So I think we're all in the same boat. We weren't really excited, but I mean, the trailers didn't really show anything to me that really intrigued me enough. But it was our first early screening, and since we got free tickets, might as well.
Absolutely.
So I'll go first with my thoughts, and then each of us will give our share perspective. That way, you have all three of our opinions before we talk
quite
amongst
divisive. So it's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. So I will say I do like sports movies. I think Remember the Times in Miracle, the person who directed this movie did Miracle, and Miracle was really freaking good. One of my favorite sports movie. Yeah. So I was hopeful because, again, I liked Miracle. And walking into this, I didn't know what to expect. I gotta say, we are living in a time where fantasy meets reality a bit. Shia LaBeouf did this crazy cool movie that I wasn't a big fan of, but I appreciated it because it was like
Honey Boy?
Was it Honey Boy?
Honey Boy or Peanut Butter Falcon?
No, Honey Boy. Honey Boy was the story of his dad, and he's playing his dad in the movie. Not my favorite movie. I appreciate it for what it was, but I just could not get into it. I thought Shia LaBeouf did a great job. I thought the kid did a good job. I thought the story was good, but it's not a movie that I would go out of my way to see. Now we have another movie that is kind of doing a similar thing. Ben Affleck went through, right before this movie actually, got a divorce and lost his marriage, and he almost destroyed his Hollywood career because he almost drank himself to death. And the reason he quit being Batman is because they told him that if you make another Batman movie, you are going to die, literally die to do this movie. Because he was feeling the pressure of playing Batman. He was feeling the pressure of so many people hating on Batman versus Superman and Justice League, and neither of those movies made $1 billion, even though they were supposed to make as much as Avengers, and they never did. And he was in a really bad place. Now the character is different. He goes through some really personal things, the character itself, that Ben Affleck didn't go through in real life. But there's a little bit of fantasy meets reality here, where I really do feel like Ben Affleck is really making a movie for himself to really get help, and he did. While he was making this movie, he got into rehab. Even though he got a divorce, he got back on his feet, and he was really struggling in real life. And I'm just really happy to see, and he's been very honest. I've been watching some of the early press interviews for this movie, and Ben Affleck's like, oh yeah, half this movie is just me in real life, coming home drunk, not realizing where I am, watching his marriage to what's her name, Jennifer Garner, kind of falling apart in real life, and this was really healing for him, and I can see why. This movie feels very real. It feels like a real story. It's not just a sports movie. It's a story of humanity and forgiving oneself and getting over some really tough things that some people go through in life. We will all go through something that traumatizes us, causes us to kind of lose our way, lose our path in life, because life is hard. It's not easy. Things happen sometimes, and it's outside of our control, and because we can't control it, we get into some really dark stuff, whether it's drinking or drugs or all, name it. You probably thought about it, and humanity has done it. So just watching this man play this character was really groundbreaking, and I really felt Ben Affleck's pain. I feel like half this movie is him not even acting, but just really giving you an insight into his mind and his heart. And it does feel very real, and it should, because this movie has just human drama that is so well connected. And I like sports movies, and the sports stuff was good, but what really affected me was Ben Affleck's performance. Even the kids got some really good time to you. Got to know some of these characters, got to know some of these personalities, some of these home situations that happened with some of these characters. I mean, it's a 2-hour movie, so you're not going to get a big spiel on each boy in this movie or the other characters, but it's enough to say, wow, they did their homework to really make this a grounded movie. Even if you're not a sports fan, I do feel like people can appreciate this movie for what it is, and it's a story of redemption. It's a story of failing and picking yourself back up. I love the title. Was
The Way Back.
The Way Back is it's such a great like title when you watch the movie, because it's him trying to go way, like, you know, how to get back to his life and figuring it out after such a tragic like human moment for him and that character. And I think that these kids really helped him. I think these kids really helped him put the bottle down, and I don't think he was prepared or ready to really get affected as much as he did by this team, these kids, this basketball team. And half this movie is also really funny. Ben Affleck has no filter, and it makes it really exciting to watch, because
it's really hilarious. That's a lot of the comedy.
And I really appreciate that, because all the Christian leaders of this, because it's a Catholic church.
That's the one thing I appreciated about this movie.
Yeah, they were like, oh, you can't swear. It's like, F you, yes, you know, like, shut up, like, get off my face. People don't talk like that. I mean, like, he's like, I'll try to put the swearing down, but like these kids they're doing stuff that most kids don't do. They're coming from broken homes, broken families, dealing with some real life situations. They're not just kids. They're kind of acting like adults in some ways, because they have to go through a rough family life at home. And I think Ben Affleck, or the character, really understands that and really supports that, and he's really honest with them. He's very raw, and I think it's good for them, because they really start respecting Ben Affleck's character. I'll just say this: there's a really special scene in a truck with one of the kids, and it's really heartfelt, it's really moving, and it's really raw, and I really appreciate it. And those moments go on in this movie 3-4 times that like really pulled me into the drama and to the whole aspect of just this character and what he's going through and what he has been through. So for me, I will say go see it. If you like sports movies, if you like drama, if you like stories about humanity, I would say go see it.
And redemption.
And redemption, go see it. George, I'll throw it off to you.
This honestly was, I thought, a great movie, because I'm honestly not someone who's really into basketball. Like I've tried playing it, and I don't do very well. But this movie like is so much beyond that. It's really, as you were saying, it really is about like picking yourself up, realizing at a certain point when you need help, and just at that point afterwards, even realizing that it was such a good thing to get help, because lots of times, you know, it's something you're like, oh, I don't really need it, I can get through this on my own. No, if possible, like seriously, if you need it, you need it, get it, because it's very important.
Yeah, and
it can help you through a lot. And this movie really portrayed that in a very good way. It showed that, you know, lots of times the way society handles situations that people are going through, problems that people are having, is it puts them down even further.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. That's true.
That's something that, you know, it's like I can understand when that happens. You know, obviously we have rules, we have regulations in that regard, but something needs to help these people get back on track.
Right.
And that was something that they didn't, even though, you know, something might happen to someone, nobody was really helping him out from that place. And that was, I thought, a very interesting thing as well.
Perspective, you know?
Yes. In regards to quality of the movie, it was really good. I was sitting on the left side. It seemed most everything was happening on the right side in the movie. So the entire movie, you know, I got my neck craned over there trying to look at it.
We did walk in like really late, and we could only find seats in the front row. I feel like I should watch this movie again with a better viewing experience personally.
Absolutely. But it was worthwhile seeing it early just for this reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, the drama was great. Honestly, I was quite shocked how much comedy there was in it. Okay, because I was not anticipating that. I was
did laugh a few times.
I thought I was just gonna be like, you know, oh man, this is just gonna be watching like Hoosiers, you know.
I've never seen that, but
oh wow,
I'll take your word for it.
You've got to see it. It's a classic.
Okay.
So yeah, Hoosiers. I mean, Hoosiers is good, you know, but this movie takes it to a whole other personal level that I thought was really important.
Oh yeah.
And movies didn't used to do that so much in the past. I mean, Hoosiers was something somewhat similar.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in some aspects, you know, Coach had anger problems or something in Hoosiers, and I don't remember if he drank. I think he did, but it basically, you know, it's like this was nowadays like really good sports movie, and you know, I think it's important really for people, even if you're just going through hard times, to go and watch this.
And to have grace for other people. You never know what they're going through personally.
Absolutely.
You know, and we sometimes jump to conclusions and demonize people without realizing
their hardships.
And this movie really does that. You're just like, why is Ben Affleck drinking? Like, what's his issue? What's causing this? You know, like, you know, you don't know his story, and you're just kind of seeing him like kind of get his life together, and it's not really working. And then, of course, you know, as it progresses, you learn more. And so yeah, I agree with you for sure. Shannon?
Sorry guys, I didn't like this movie. I was bored out of my mind.
You have no heart.
I was so bored. This is what's known as a guy movie, like 100% a guy movie, because I don't care at all about basketball. I really didn't care about these characters, and it was so cliche and so predictable, and every single thing that happened, I was like, yep, I saw that coming. Yep, I saw that coming. It did make me laugh a few times. I'm going to try and think of some positive things to say before I rip into it. I did laugh a few times, mostly because of the audience we were with. We were with this, you know, reviewer audience, so every seat was packed, so every little laugh got a big laugh. Because the people that wanted to see this movie were in the theater. It did get a few laughs out of me, but in between that, it was 90% of this movie was like people staring wistfully out a window with sad music playing. And that was about 90% of the movie.
I like that stuff.
I was like,
I like slow movies.
I don't think I was in the mood for it today. If I had been in the right mood for it, maybe. And I also think hearing you guys talk about it, I didn't know about Ben Affleck's real life, so that might have changed my experience to hear how it tied into his real life. But just going into this blind, not knowing anything about basketball, nothing about Ben Affleck, it was just every other sports movie I've ever seen.
Can you at least say that this movie was made for a certain target audience?
Oh, absolutely.
And they did a good job.
That's what I said. Yeah. This is a guy movie. And as a guy movie, it totally works. If you've gone through, you know, really hard things in your life, you'll probably be able to relate. I'm trying to say this without spoilers. If you like basketball, it's probably going to be a good movie for you. But don't go in expecting like a fun, uplifting, like Mighty Ducks kind of sports movie. This was...
this is not because Mighty Ducks is more like a cartoon, like fiction story, while this is more real, I feel like.
Can I say like the tone at the end of the movie? That's not a spoiler. This is not a very happy ending at the end of the movie. Not really. Like, and I guess, you know, winning a sports game it doesn't mean anything to me. I couldn't care less. So that didn't really get me going in the movie either. Ladies, I don't think we're gonna like this one unless you're really into basketball. And
a lot of girls do like sports movies.
I know plenty of girls that like basketball. So you guys will probably love this movie. But as a generalization, I think this is going to be more of a dude movie.
What did you think of Ben Affleck's performance? Let's talk about that.
He was good, yeah. Like, there's nothing in this movie that I'd say technically was terrible. I mean, the sound was fine. The lighting was fine. The acting was good. The performances were good. Like, there's nothing in here that I can really criticize. It's just another generic sports movie for me. And I think there's 30 of them like it. And when it comes time for our top 10 list a year from now, I'm probably not even going to remember that I saw this movie.
Oh, okay. Well, I definitely will, because I think Ben Affleck is one of my favorite actors. Just as much as Shia LaBeouf to you was, like, you were really into Honey Boy, but I think that was because you really appreciate Shia LaBeouf and his life story. And I could care less about his daddy issues. I'm sorry, I just don't.
I think I got it more into Honey Boy because Noah Jupe is just such a good little actor. And whenever there's kids in a movie, I'm going to be more invested.
There's kids in this movie, too.
There were.
They were
many
like
kids.
17, 18-year-olds. That's not kids.
No. There was little kids in this movie that were part of the story.
Like side characters, I guess.
They were, but I think
there's more that I could criticize if we were doing a spoiler review.
Yeah.
But because we're not doing a spoiler review, I'll save it.
Okay. I was just gonna say, like, for me, the reason I couldn't get into Honey Boy is because I could care less what Shia LaBeouf goes through. I don't really like him. I think he's okay. Any movies I've seen him in, he's just whatever.
Kind of how I feel about Ben Affleck.
Exactly. And for that, I was like bored to tears in Honey Boy. I'm like, I can't wait for this movie to end. But being a big fan of, I think Ben Affleck's one of my favorite Batmans out the gate. Like, I think his portrayal as Batman is just fantastic. And he has put out performances that are 10 out of 10. Argo, The Accountant. What's the one with Matt Damon?
I love The Accountant.
God,
That's so good.
Oh my gosh,
I want a sequel.
I know.
Please.
What's the movie with Matt Damon and Robin Williams? I'm forgetting it. It's
Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting.
He was amazing in Good Will Hunting. Wow.
So I've been following Ben Affleck's career for a while, and he's a great filmmaker. Some of the best movies we got were directed by Ben Affleck. He's not just an actor. He's all around just a great producer, great director. So for me, it just felt like watching his life kind of come apart and then seeing this movie, I just really got into it.
You feel like you're getting to know him better?
Yeah. If I didn't care for him and I didn't know who he was, I would have appreciated the drama, but I would have forgotten about it. But because
I don't.
But because I've followed Ben Affleck's career for a while now, he's gone through he's made really bad movies in his early career, but then he's also made really great movies in the last 10 years.
What was that one with him and Matt Damon where they were like fallen angels or something?
Dogma. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I love
old movie.
That movie was hilarious.
I love that movie.
Would I like it?
That was so. I don't know. It makes fun of certain religious things, so I'm not sure.
they make fun of Christians.
I can laugh at myself. I liked Saved, so.
Oh yeah, you like it. Yeah, Dogma was great.
That was amazing.
But yeah, we don't really need to go into a spoiler discussion for this, because what we're holding back on, we'll just maybe spend 2 minutes here to talk about some of the spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, this is your time to jump out and come back later, or just stop the video altogether.